Hey guys, so give or take on who's watched the Belgian review that I created the other week, some people may have noticed in the scoreboard that the French score was included, but at the same time the French video review is not uploaded. The reason for that was because the video decided to malfunction, and when I went to go and edit it, it didn't work out the way I wanted it to, so I've had to do this instead. The review is going to be a little bit different because when I tried to do it the first time, even with all the problems and that, it did get blocked due to copyright, so I'm going to... There's no point in me re-listening to it because, well, it's been a while now. So I'm just going to give my thoughts based on from what I heard of the song. So originally I gave the song 15 points of a possible 20, and I gave, if I recall right, 8 for the vocals for the benefit of the doubt, and then 7 for the song. And to be fair, I'm actually questioning on why I gave it 7 in the first place when, let's be real, it wasn't. It's disappointing. I think the main thing I mentioned over it was that the song is so dated. Now, okay, you could like it in a guilty pleasure kind of sense, that you think it's nice in a sense, but when you're looking at it towards Eurovision itself, you think to yourself, why? Why go and do that? I think what makes it worse is the songwriters behind it. There's no French involvement in the song, and okay, yeah, Amia was part of the songwriting team, but only for the translation. So we all know, based on that, the song was originally written in English. It was meant to be sung in English, and then Amia just translates parts in that the verses into French just to give it that bilingual sense. But there's nothing French about it, and I think that's what also really annoys me about it. And it's written by a bunch of Swedes, Thomas Jason and Jan Lundvik, which I'm not surprised about because it does sound like a song that was written for Jan Lundvik. Like, if you listen to, not so much as Too Late for Love, but My Turn, which he entered in Melfest 2018, it sounds very similar to that. And it's definitely the song that he would have sent, not necessarily with that production, but it just makes me wonder, because Jan Lundvik wrote a song which ended up being the UK entry last year. It went to the final, it came last. So for France to get rid of Destination Eurovision and to go to an internal entry, why on earth would they go for that? They have got so much talent. They have got such a... Okay, it's not the biggest music industry going, but it's a respectable music industry. And they could have gone for somebody from that. You know, pick a local songwriter who's decent enough, who could have written a song for him. I mean, even if he... I'm not sure if he's a singer-songwriter or not, but Tom could have, you know, penned one of his own works. It just makes me wonder, why on earth did they go down that direction? Well, especially when with Destination Eurovision, yes, okay, they were not getting top 10 results, but you were still getting a great amount of talent in that show, and it was one of the best national finals that we had. So it just makes me wonder why on earth they went for that. Otherwise, in terms for the song itself, it's just it's dated, and that's what does my head in. It's like, we're in 2020. The song would have been best around what? It would have been an X Factor's winner's single maybe in 2007, 2008, maybe even earlier than that. And again, it's almost, I don't want to say novelty, but it is in a way. I just feel like it annoys me because I feel like France have shot themselves in the foot with this one. They could have gone with something like really good, and they've decided to go down this route. So I think that's the vibe I was trying to give in the initial review that I tried to come up with. Was that I was just majorly disappointed in their efforts, and I don't know what else to put on it, and that's why I gave it 15 points. I think personally speaking I was a little bit generous, but in terms of my rankings, if I'm doing a top whatever video, yeah, it's going to be quite low because, again, they could have gone with something really good and it just really annoys me. Tom's got a great vocal. I think, realistically speaking, in terms of that song, it's the vocals that are going to carry them over. They might get a few points from the juries. Televote won't go for this. I did hear, though, that they are doing a revamp on the song, which kind of baffles me, because why on earth do a revamp of a song if it's an internal entry? You should have got all of that more or less spot on before releasing it. But apparently there's been that much criticism that they're doing a revamp on the entry, because literally every country does that now. And I don't know. I don't know how they're going to do it, because they could change the production slightly, but it's the lyrics. Do they change it to entirely French? Because at least if they put it in French, it masks over just how basic and paint by numbers the song really is. I don't know how they're going to do it. So I don't want to say it's almost like polishing a turd, because a turd's still a turd, but that's a little bit rude. But at the end of the day, it's what it is. You could put whatever production on it and make it sound a little bit different, but it's still, that song is still going to be that song, and it's the lyrics that kills it. You could put it entirely in French, and yeah, okay, you might get a few more points, but it's like Croatia, isn't it? Last year, you could say, yeah, he had Rocco had great vocals, but no matter what you do to the song, it's not going to change the song for what it is. And of course, he didn't qualify, did he? Even with a good stage, well, I wouldn't say good staging, and that was a little bit novelty in itself, but even then, it didn't work for them, and I just can't see how this is going to work for France. So at the same time, if you want to post comments about France and what you think about Tom Leeb's entry, and if you want to, at the same time, post about anything to do with songs so far, UK's, what we think the UK is going to end up bringing, and hopefully not last place, but and as well as Germany and any other upcoming songs, then feel free to post those. Otherwise, I am going to try and get through Ukraine, Slovenia, because I actually forgot Slovenia was this week, well, last weekend, and I'm also going to get through Poland. Whether that's today or whether that's tomorrow morning, I'm not entirely sure, but I'm going to try and get through them as quick as possible. Otherwise, see you soon.